Storytime number 2, Art in the 1930s by Charlie Franklin. Lee Krasner decided to be an artist and enrolled into the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Art and Science in Manhattan. In 1928, she transferred to the National Academy of Design, and although she was unpromising, she painted her first important work there, a psychologically revealing self-portrait. Due to the Depression, she was forced to work at menial jobs by day and attend art classes at night. In the early 1930s, she experimented with the style of socialism and the imagery of Giorgio de Chirico and John Muir. In 1937, when she entered the Hans Hofmann School of Fine Arts, that she found an environment in which her art could excel. Immediately grasping the most radical tenets of Fauvism, Cubism, and Hofmann's own theories, she began to create powerful abstract still lifes and diagrammatic figure studies. Around 1934, Krasner was employed by the Works Progress Administration on one of the art programs and was swiftly promoted to a supervisory position in the mural division. She was eventually allowed to design her own composition for a radio station, WNYC of New York. She had been combining the influence of the synthetic cubism of Picasso and architectonic simplicity of the work of Piet Mondrian. She developed a non-objective triptych design for WNYC in 1941. This model was never executed because of the USA's entry into World War II. By the time of the WPA converted to war services, Krasner met Jackson Pollock. She had taken part in an exhibition in 1941 organized by John Graham to show that American art was now and is now equal to European art. You two, get out! 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 Hey! Johnny B! Johnny B! Give me that file. Sorry guys, this is always took off with my sock. And is now equal to European art. She took part in the exhibition with Jackson Pollock. She immediately liked Pollock's works, believing that he was a living force, and introducing him to numerous artists and critics who could help him complete his goals. Their involvement during the early 1940s in the Surrealist circle of Peggy Guggenheim was great for the both of them. Unfortunately, Krasner's growing admiration for Pollock's works made her suffer to where she didn't want to work anymore. She entered a period during which she produced overworked gray slabs, as she called them, in no style of or imagery. Krasner and Pollock married in 1945, and they moved to the rural village of The Springs, near East Hampton, Long Island, was a surprising reward for the both of them. 3 groups of little images emerged, thinly dripped linear works and rows of thin runic forms. Later in life, she expressed her fascination with Hebrew and other alphabets that she found calligraphic in style. During the period of 1953 to 1955, despite problems on Pollock's alcohol affections, Krasner made a significant technical move into the media and college, using as a support field paintings that she thought were unsuccessful from her first one-woman show at the Betty Parsons Gallery. In 1951, she pasted large dramatic shapes cut from her own and Pollock's discarded canvases. In these works, she celebrated her admiration for Henry Matisse, whose influence resurfaced for later. In interviews, Krasner said that her life and work were a combination, and it was immediately after her husband's disastrous death in 1953 that she created her most memorable paintings, large works generated by whole body movement. From 1959 to 1962, she poured out her feelings of sorrow in sienna and white works of art. By the mid-1960s, she had worked out her sorrow and began painting lushly colored, sharply focused, emblematic floral forms, bringing a more colorful light setting in her pictures. During her last sessions of life, she learned at college about charcoal painting. The legendary Armory show brought modern art to the Americas in 1913. As the 1930s opened, the merits of modernism versus traditional figure were still an axis passed to talk about. Movements such as Dadaism, Cubism, Posism, and Surrealism seemed private and effete. The Depression started in America and a war brewed within Europe. The Depression leads to not just art as a search of American hobbies, but anti-European sentiment by the American regionalists. Thomas Hart Benton, a student from Paris, led the charge to rid America of what he called the dirt of European influence. On the other side of the debate was a group of young American artists, mostly living in New York City, who embraced the aesthetic. Jackson Pollock's 1912 to 1956, an abstract artist from New York City, learned from Thomas Hart Benton, who was strongly influenced by A.P. Ryder and Mexican murals, especially Siqueiros. 1938 to 1942, Pollock worked on his masterpiece, the Federal Art Project in New York City. Affected by Picasso, he moved on to working in the abstract side of art. His experiments with art led to the creation of his famous strip painting technique, in which he drew or dripped linear rhythms onto a huge canvas on the floor. Sometimes he'd apply paint straight from the tube onto the canvas or use aluminum paint to achieve a glittery effect. His love of painting was referred to a term called action painting. Pollock became an abstract expressionism hero by the time he was killed in an automobile crash. His paintings are in museums in New York City, San Francisco, Dallas, and Chicago. He was married to the painter Lee Krasner. The end. So, yeah, that's a pretty good story of art. And, well, since we're talking about art, and I believe that is today one of today's today's things to talk about. I am an artist, and my goal is obviously to be like Jackson Pollock. My art teacher believes that I am great at abstract art, and I just can do things with it. Oh god. And here is the abstract art I am working on today. It's very little, it's not done yet, but it'll be done soon. And, well, just saying, but I hope you guys like my artwork, and I hope you guys like learning about things that I do, and I just hope you guys like me. I will start reading stuff from my journal pretty soon, so I hope you guys love my journal stories, and if you don't, I'm sorry. Anyways, tell me what you thought about the stories that I've wrote already, and I'm gonna get on with the subject and move on to another subject now.